Okay, so for especially for working with Larbi, who usually has live music for his performances, and it's many times it's medieval music or baroque music. So he's very familiar with this kind of classical old music, and it inspires him a lot. And I like to listen to this kind of music a lot by myself, and I was inspired sorry, before also for my own music before I started working with Larbi to sometimes to combine the modern language with this tonal harmony of baroque music or even earlier. So a lot of inspiration comes from medieval music. It's like there is a certain few string quartets which actually are translated from the music I wrote for choir. So it has this kind of even like choir-like medieval choir-like feeling. Then I use the form passacaglia, which is of course comes from Baroque, and I use the form 3 times for piano solo, for violin solo, and then for whole ensemble, still with the same theme, but of course based on different variations afterwards. But it's the same theme for each passacaglia. It's repeating. So it's like a theme also linking, right, the music together. And for the rest, I would have to say that it's pretty minimal music, which works with dance. I discovered that minimal building music in the minimal way, as we know from, I don't know, Philip Glass or Steve Reich, or let's just say the famous names, right? It has certain repetitive motion and feeling. It also creates certain pulse, and somehow with the dance and also with Larbi's choreography, it comes together. And we've seen it before. We know that Glass is working for dance as well, and it inspired me as well in that terms. So we have also pieces which are very minimal, very rhythmical, and have a certain pulse, and I play with the rhythm, and so the music also oscillates between harmony, classical harmony, and a tonality,
So you mix.
I mix. I try to mix, and also what we found with Larbi interesting, and it's also for me interesting to have few sources of inspiration, but gathering it all in one clear language, and I hope it works. For me, as far I'm still, of course, I'm a young composer. I'm still working on my own language, trying to develop it. So there are many inspirations coming from here and there. And also the important thing is that working for dance, it's still a very specific way to compose music for dance. I have to be aware of the choreography, of the fact that the music is not for itself. It's being part of something else. So it's different way of working autonomous music.
Flows with the dance.
Exactly, it has to be. It's still on the second plan in a way, or sometimes it's melting together, but it's music which is in a favor of something else. It's a collaboration. So that's of course it's also
goes with him, with the choreography.
The choreography, exactly.
With the choreographer and the choreography.
Sure, it's a constant exchanging ideas at the same time. So it's not like a composer like working on the autonomous piece of music for the stage, right?
Divided, not divided,
exactly.
Together. But you choose some instruments for the composition,
yes.
For the choreography. Why did you choose them?
We have a very classical set. We have a string quartet and piano, which which of course also the set has a very classical how to say gives the very classical feeling, but Larbi liked this idea. I mean, I wanted to have piano because I'm a pianist myself, and piano for me is like instrument.
Complete even
instrument. So I like it. I like to work with piano, and then the idea of string quartets, because it was nice for me to having this medieval or baroque inspiration. It was nice to me to work with strings. So then the idea of a quintet came, that it's nice to combine it, and we have this very classical set, but at the same time having 5 instruments. We can play with solos, with duets, with trios. So there is solo piano, solo violin. There is few pieces for whole ensemble. There are few pieces for only string quartets. There's a trio with violin, cello, and piano. So we try to also play with the to make a diversity with the set, right?
And to give
different
impulses even to the movements of the dancers.
Of course, because it makes sense. Sometimes we have a solo on the stage. It makes total sense to use a solo instrument. And
how did you divide the movements of music? You For example, you made for movements.
It's more like several pieces of music which has its own structured form, and which is also which works very well in terms of collaborating with Larbi, because his choreography has the same way of thinking. He has closed sequences, structures of choreography. So it's always the idea of giving a certain
sketches.
Piece, sketches. And I've been always told that I'm good in writing miniatures. You know, all my professors in my studies.
What did you study?
I studied composition in Poznań, in Poland, in Poznań Music Academy for my master, and then I also did postgraduate composition in Conservatorium in Antwerp. So I was studying composition for 7 years, like this contemporary, let's say, way of composing, but I started with dance and film and theater already earlier, and I was always inspired by it. I always wanted to work for film, for theater, for dance, so this is the way I would like to go.
Can you tell me something on films, for example? Where did you work for?
I did several projects for films in Poland, small projects, but then also the music of mine is used in the film by French director Diastem, who the movie is called Le bruit de gens autour. It's a French movie. It had a premiere last year in Avignon, the festival.
In Avignon,
yes,
famous for the contemporary music, dance, everything,
exactly.
theater,
but also
and
cinema
so on.
has little part there, and they presented the film. So now it has been shown in France, and we see. I mean, it's a French production, so it's mostly broadcast in France, but.
And you know, if you play it again, for example, here in Italy, or
I hope so, that the film will go beyond France, that it will be shown in other countries as well. I'm not aware of that right now, but I hope that it can come to other countries.
We hope too.
Yes.
And your future projects? I have thinking about something.
Yes, for now, we do another project with Larbi. Next year with ballet in Amsterdam. And then there is also a choreographer from the Netherlands, Joost Vramerts, that I am supposed to work on a project in Tilburg in Netherlands in October this year for dance duet. He's dancing with his dance partner. And there's a few other ideas. There is also I'm working now on the music for my friend pianist who actually performs Orbo Novo. She has several concerts in Spain and in UK. So I'm working on a piano cycle for her of piano of 7 miniatures. A cycle of 7 miniatures for piano. For now, this is for now. So it's going.
It's going very well.
It's going well. It's going okay.
Okay. Where do you live?
I live in Belgium. I was living in Poland for 24 years until I finished my studies, and then I moved to Belgium, to Antwerp, to continue my studies, and I stayed in Antwerp because that's how I met Larbi. I met him in Antwerp. I went to see his show. We got to talk after the show, and I showed him my music. He really liked it, and then he proposed me to work on Sutra. That was the beginning of our collaboration. So I stayed in Antwerp. I'm still living there in Belgium, and I'm working there and touring a lot because I'm pianist in Sutra. So it's like living in Belgium, but every month we go on a tour.
So for the piano miniatures, you are going to play?
No. Piano miniatures is for my friend. It's for my friend pianist. I play Sutra. I play in Sutra in the first collaboration with Larbi. The performance we did with Larbi and the Shaolin monks. I wrote music for that, and I also play piano there. And Sutra. Yes, it's still on tour already since 1 year and a half. So it's still touring a lot.
Touring.
Yeah.
But if you would like to specify your musical influence from, the classical music, for example, the Russian composers.
There is a few. Yeah, in specific.
Rachmaninoff, I don't know, maybe.
I would more like go, as I told you before, that there will be this group of composers from Baltic countries. So we have Arvo Pärt.